Yeah. I East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, global with that gang gang, you know we don't play guys. Yeah. East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, global with that gang gang, you know we don't play guys. East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, global with that gang gang, you know we don't play guys. Yeah. East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, global with that gang gang, you know we don't play guys. I'm blessed, I never said I didn't struggle. I finesse, I never said I didn't hustle. These niggas talk so loud, the way I move is subtle. I'm the ocean, but these niggas just a puddle. Ay, oh, I swear I'm delusional. These niggas ain't using me. They want my energy, ain't nothing new, this is usual. These figures confusing me. What's gotten into me? They say I'm using their cubicles. Clipping KD like some cuticles. None of this shit is excusable. Don't need a muse when I'm musical. Ay, whoa, I'm tired of saying for truth when nobody's doing it. Yeah. They're controlling the youth, agenda of fusing them. Nigga, we losing them. Matter of fact, we just abusing them. That's a fact. We try to roll with a ballad act. Fucking low key with a Tesseract. They throwing smoke when they got that. Get the fuck up out your little bubble. They wanna ask how much it costs, I said it double. Gorilla beer, these niggas only rockin' stubble. The realest nigga make these bitches start to stumble. Aye, East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, glow with that gang gang. No, we don't like gang.
Swolenormous.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling.
All right, are we ready, Beaches? Are you ready for some gains? Testing, 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 testicles, testing, testicles. Oh, welcome everyone to episode 1717 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular Swolecast, Beardcast, Broadcast, Gaincast, Mancast, Pimpcast, Sleazecast, and Slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What's going on, beaches, booshes, busters, hustlers, and your hoes? It's your boy, Papa Swolio, and the Falcon. What's going on, fam? How we doing? We're streaming live. We're got the Swole fam Discord pumping. We got Swolenormous over on Facebook, and of course the Daily Swole on YouTube. Make sure that you're also subscribed. Check out the podcast, Apple Podcast, and Spotify. Everywhere you like to bang your ear holes. And I want to also remind you, we got some new episodes afoot of Red, White, and Swole. We got new Swolenormous Procast, and we got a new Swolenormous audio experience. Make sure you check out all the shows brought to you by Swolenormous and the Swole fam. How are we doing? What's the good word? What are you smashing today? Drop that in the comments. 1717. That's right, Jen. I actually forgot. She says, wow, 1717, great number. That's right. I forgot it was like the same thing, 1717. I feel like it was just the other day. It was just the other day. Just the other day that it was 1700. And I guess, I don't know, time flies. So we got a couple things. One of the important things, let me see if I can bring that up. I don't think I actually brought that over. Here we go. All right, tomorrow. Let me see here. Dun. Is that tomorrow? Did I bring it up? Perfect. It was the right date. All right. I was hesitant for a second. All right. Tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern time. Reminder, we got our accountability meeting. Let me just minimize that a little bit.
Fucking Catalina wine.
Got a little Catalina wine mixer there.
Catalina wine mixer. The fucking Catalina wine mixer.
Yeah, we do. So what are you smashing today? Drop in the comments. Accountability meeting tomorrow. Tomorrow, Monday, January the 18th. And you'll be able to catch that in a bunch of different places. I will be letting you know. We got a lot of stuff going on, with the private streaming. So there's a lot of cool stuff coming. So make sure that you are keeping your eyes peeled. I'll be sending you some links, letting you know where you can catch tomorrow's episode. Of course, it'll be in the private Facebook group, but we're also probably going to be doing some other private streaming and other places for you all to communicate. Because I know a lot of you are getting off the main big tech apps and stuff like that, trying to clean up your shit, which I encourage. I encourage you. We're doing Operation Swole Circle. You got to tighten up that circle, tighten up that community. And that means how you utilize your phone, how you utilize social media. But you know the Swole fam, we're going strong and we got you locked down. I got you taken care of. Don't you worry. Papa's going to be there. and I'll make sure that you have all the access to tomorrow's meeting. And I'll be sending you links where you can catch it for those of you that are just joining in. For those of you that are not going to be maybe watching live, you can catch Inside Swole TV, but we got a lot of stuff. Got a lot of stuff, a lot of updates, and I'll be sending you some more Swole text and some more information probably later today with some of the things that we'll have going on for tomorrow. As to where you might be able to even catch, all the different links, because we're going to be streaming in some different places. Some of you have already experienced it before. You've done the Swole TV, you've watched, you've used Swole Chat and stuff. You guys remember Swole Chat? Yeah, we're going to bring back Swole Chat. We're going to have some other places so you can catch it right inside Swole TV as well, as likely either the private Facebook group or elsewhere. So it'll be available to everyone as always, but tomorrow, private episode, and that's only for members. Learn more, Swolenormousx.com. Don't miss out on that. Got new releases, Beaches. I know. We had our Swole New Year's party, and then all of a sudden we're back to just fucking regular releases. Back to just jamming awesome content down your fucking gullets, making sure that you're making those sick fucking gains. Those sick gains in the new year, 2021. Already off to a great start, is it not? All right, so let's get into those questions. Obviously, some of you probably have some questions. We always welcome the random questions that are going to be coming in. So we'll see what actually happens and who shows up live. We do have some questions already. Let's bust this beach out of the nut, and then we'll get into some questions. So drop a comment, what are you smashing? And put some respect on it, beach. All right. Very nice. Very nice. Leo, you raging alcoholic. Put the sauce down, bro. Put down the sauce. Come on, save yourself. My goodness. Oh, that was a good one. Oh, that was a good one. That felt good. All right, we're bringing back some hashtag forging pillars. 7 pillars, that is. We got to forge your pillars. You got to forge your pillars first. You got to use the 7 pillars to forge your pillars. Hashtag 7 pillars. At least Leo's consistent. Yeah, at least he's nailing it. At least he's nailing those 7 pillars. So hashtag 7 pillars for a chance to win today's Swole card. We'll give that away at the end. But first, we got some awesome questions to go through. So drop your questions in the comments below. Hashtag Ask Papa Swolio to be featured. And yes, isn't that a delicious card? That's a nice one. That's a nice one. Super nice. Super nice. All right, let's get into some questions. If you got questions, Papa Swolio's got answers. Hashtag Ask Papa Swolio. And we will get into some questions. That's a 5. That's a 5. It was off axis. Every time I try to do you a favor, I get railed. I get railed in the scorecards. All right, here we go. We got the first question from Lena Karlstein. Papa Swolio, if I train gym, Miyagi say, if I train gym. If I train the gym 3 times a week, how important is cardio? Do I need to do that too? That depends on your goals. We always talk about cardio. I always like to say, cardio, I don't speak Spanish. Y'all, it's a famous Arnold meme. I don't know what that is. Well, cardio comes in different forms. I'm not a big fan of that boring, steady state, meaningless, waste of time cardio, just standing there, doing 20 an hour on the treadmill or on the step mill. No, you have better things to do. Go for a walk, do some kettlebells, go in the sauna, do some yoga. It's important to be physically capable, but to just do endless cardio is not really useful. Do you need it to lose weight? No. Do you need it to be healthy? It's good. I don't think you should leave any stone unturned, but do you have to do tons and tons and tons of cardio if you want to improve your cardio specifically for any purpose, but it's not necessary to get results the way most people want results. That's really how I say this. And let's put this in perspective for what most people want. And this is what I'm really talking to, or what most people want. What do most people want? They want to look a certain way. They want to build muscle. They don't really want, and they don't know that. They don't want the results that cardio gives. And what I mean by cardio, I mean focusing on your cardio. Like your training revolves around your cardio. Too many people, I think that's way too much, way too 80s and 90s in terms of old school type training, where people just really bias all their activity or most of their activity, or even 50 or 25% of it all on cardiovascular training. It's just too much. It's too much. It's not necessary, and it sacrifices too much muscle, takes too much time, and it's not giving you the benefits that most people want. And it could be a component, but it shouldn't be something that's the main focus for what most people want in terms of results. Now, if you train at the gym 3 times a week, I would recommend upping that. If you're lifting weights 3 times a week, I would recommend doing 4 or 5 or 6 days a week, depending on what your goals are. And you could sprinkle in cardio kind of like a seasoning. So add that after as like a little bit of a fluff, right? Add that as like a little seasoning, a little spice to your regular routine. So it really depends. It really depends on what your goals are. So as to the importance, need some more context, but just trying to talk a little bit about that, bring that up to current, bring that up to speed for those of you that might be new to the conversation. All right. Gina, better late than never, finally catching a Sunday Swolecast live, smashed a vinyasa flow and a ballet class this morning, and just smashed the like button. Obviously, you got to smash that like button. Smash that like button, fam. Do that right now. Smash and hit the like button, share the video, share the video. All right. Let's see. Nip Dog. Papa Swolio, after losing all my weight, I still feel like I am fat/big. I know I am much smaller. Went from 40 to a 29. Any suggestions on getting over this feeling? Not really. I mean, feelings versus reality, looking in the mirror, reinforcing the fact that you're just getting up in your own head, brain gains, meditation, focusing on other aspects of progress, being more valuable, weighing your value on your progress in different places. So you still feel, what do you mean you feel? Like in your head, like body dysmorphia type thing, like a bodybuilder that never feels big enough type thing? You're obviously a lot smaller. You're objectively smaller. You're a 29 versus a size 40. So getting over this feeling, I would have to say that it's something that's just going to have to be part of your journey that you're going to have to come to grips with, because the reality is that you're not still huge. You're obviously a completely different person. So how many of you, it's normal to feel that you're in your old self just because you're used to that. And plus you're also probably on a certain level really paranoid about ever going back to that. You're just so against it. You're hyper aware of that feeling and that sensation. So it's kind of like a brand new body, right? I just feel big, not small. Yeah. In terms of the feeling, I mean, that's all upstairs. That's all brain gains, but everyone's going to have their own methodology. I'm curious as to the way other people go through that, and how some other people here that have lost weight, if you've had the same issue or the same concern. But it's definitely all up in your head, so you can't beat yourself up about something that's not actually a reality. Marissa, the other day I asked what to cook my eggs in or veggies. I said tallow, beef tallow. Beef tallow. I know you've been blowing up the Discord too with that. Beef tallow. It's rendered animal fat. That's what I do. I'm not telling you to necessarily do that, but that's what I would recommend cooking in. So you ask me what I would use, that's what I would use. Yeah, I don't use oils to cook. You're welcome, Nip Dog. Let's talk about this a little bit more. Super Gen, I've struggled with a little bit of body dysmorphia, but not extremely. Sometimes I think I'm bigger than I am, and the opposite of which sucks. It happens a lot with people that are trying to bulk up. You know, I'm smaller, I'm leaner than I have been in the past. So it's also, I catch myself being, I catch, it's normal. It's normal, especially if you're a dude. And a lot of people, even, especially guys, this past year with all the shutdowns, a lot of dudes were feeling, oh my God, I feel so small. Even though they didn't really lose too much size, you can still maintain a lot when you're training at home. Or if you, and a lot of times when I say training at home, or when people have issues losing or getting smaller training at home, it's because you don't have the same overload that a full blown gym provides, unless you have that at home, unless you have all the resistance weights. But if you were stuck in the shutdown and the quarantine and you didn't have any resistance or any real method to put resistance on your body, whether it was dumbbells or a barbell or any kind of overload, you're going to lose muscle mass just because you don't have the overload capacity or the ability to overload your muscles in the same fashion to maintain your body's need to maintain that muscle tissue. So your body is going to adapt to its environment. And if you don't maintain that kind of environment of being under a load, so to speak, your body will adapt to different stresses or relinquish the adaptations to those types of stresses. So if you don't use it, you lose it. That's how the body works. You don't use it, you lose it. That's a very common phrase, but it's absolutely true. If you don't use it, you lose it. So keep your body in that perspective or in that environment in order to stimulate results. Let's see here. Yeah, you could do that too. Going back to Nip Dog's comment about feeling big, you could take some pictures. Just that constant reinforcement, that constant reinforcing that of your new reality, because it totally makes sense. You're used to being bigger. And even though you're not bigger, you're used to being bigger, you're used to looking in the mirror and seeing a different person. I know I've seen a lot of people that drop comments that say they are looking at a stranger in the mirror. It's got to be the same way when someone gets a nose job or you have an accident or something and you look at yourself and you don't see yourself in the mirror. You're so used to looking at a certain reflection. And then you look at that reflection and it's not the same type of comforting reflection, that comforting response that you normally see. So it's different. So it's uncomfortable, and then it makes you fearful or makes you just, those feelings are going to be different because you're getting a different response. You're going to feel comfortable when you look into the mirror on a regular basis, and human beings want to feel comfortable. They want to feel safe. Just from an evolutionary standpoint, you want to feel safe from danger. And that's just one way to feel safe. The expectation to see, like, if I looked in the mirror, if I shaved my beard and I looked in the mirror, don't worry, settle down, not going anywhere. Okay. But if I shave my beard, all of a sudden, because I've had it for so long, if I looked in the mirror, I would see a different person. Like, who the heck is this looking back at me? Of course, I would adapt to that pretty quickly and realize, all right, it's just me. It'd be a new face, but then you get used to that face. Nip Dog, I look totally different from a year and a half ago to now. I have before and after pics. See the difference? It just doesn't sink in my head yet. Yeah, it's still kind of fresh. How long were you obese? How long were you overweight? How long were you in that bigger body, so to speak? You were renting, right? My bigger body. Some bodies are bigger. Some bodies are smaller. Let's see, Matthew, brain gains shouldn't be underestimated. Meditation is a form of communication with your subconscious, and it helps me find my truth mindset and how you see yourself as imperative. I like that. It truly is. It is self-communication. And I keep seeing around the internet, obviously mental health is such a concern nowadays, as it always has been, but even more so with social media, and everyone's really, really split, and people are completely obsessed and addicted to their phones and really at the behest and just getting pulled around. You're a passenger to where these social media apps want to drag you. So your psyche is at risk. I see a lot of people online about meditation saying, oh, I'm never going to not think. How it's so hard to not think. Meditation's not about not thinking. It's actually taking out the trash and cleaning up your brain to the point when you have essentially less thoughts appearing. But that's because you've worked through the trash. It's just like cleaning out the closet. You have to be aware. First, it's becoming aware of all the thoughts that you're having. And it's becoming aware that these thoughts come out of nowhere and it's not your control. You can't control these thoughts appearing. Your brain just like, boom, hey, look at this. You're like, what the fuck? You realize, well, what the hell are you doing here? You have to let those things go. The problem is when you're always programmed or your practice, just normally, you're not really in control of you're not aware of your consciousness. You're not aware of this process. You just latch onto every last thought. And especially when you have phones, TV, tablets, everything is throwing more information your way. You're grabbing onto too many things and you're just completely just distracted. And it's not about having ADHD. It's about you're almost creating this. Social media is creating this. Every time you scroll on TikTok or Instagram or something, you're seeing a new video. It's like boom, 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 a different flash. And even if you're watching a video or a TV show, it's just flashing nonstop. It's like looking inside someone's window when you're driving by of a house or an apartment and you see just colors flashing. That's all going into your brain. You got to slow shit down. But the first thing, it's very much like the elimination diet. The elimination diet isn't, okay, eat this food, don't eat this, that's it forever. The elimination diet is to give you perspective and understanding of how foods impact your body. Same thing with meditation. Oh, this is how I react to thoughts. Oh, this is how these thoughts appear. And then when those thoughts appear during your regular day, you're able to say, oh, okay, that's bullshit. I can ignore that because that's just nonsense. That's one of those thoughts that I have, and you get better at it. You meditate more often, more consistently, and then you're able to consciously pick up on when you're getting distracted and bring yourself back to focus. It's just practice. You're not going to be good at it. A lot of people think that they're bad at meditation. There really isn't such a thing. It's the same thing with yoga. You're not good or bad at yoga. You're just at a different stage of your practice. Let's see. OE, I noticed I couldn't focus on a video I was listening to because I was looking at the comments instead. I had to make the video full screen, too many distractions. That's a really good point too. And that's another reason why you see a lot of videos that have subtitles and text and they scroll and you're thinking, well, I'm listening to the video, I'm listening to the audio. Why is there captions? And of course, some people aren't good, have trouble hearing. So the subtitles and the app, sometimes people are at work. So Instagram will autoplay a video, for example. So it's nice to have subtitles, or on YouTube, but it's also because it catches your eye. So even if you're a human and you can play audio where you are, and you can, for example, whatever I was talking about, your eyes are going to get attracted because one of the first things that you learn as a human is to read. So it attracts your eye. And even if you can hear, you have the audio on and you're not in a library or you're not at work, you're actually going to get sucked into a video faster because of the visual stimulation. Your eyes get pulled into the text and it'll keep you locked in a little bit more. Let's see, John. Initially, embracing awareness was much easier once I realized thoughts aren't good or bad. They're just visitors. It's how they influence you and how you react to them. That's important. Let's get some gorillas on that. Yeah, they really aren't good or bad thoughts. And you might have thoughts that if you had to judge them, you're thinking, oh, that's a bad one, or that's one I don't want to stay around. Well, you're going to have those thoughts. You're going to have those impulses, but it doesn't mean that you act on them. And if you actually have, it kind of gives a little bit of a buffer. It's like one of these big companies or these huge networks. They probably have a little delay, right? A 5 or 10 or 15 second delay from when the live streamer or the newscaster speaks to when it's actually broadcast out. So they have a little buffer time so they can cut the stream if someone swears or there's a mistake. It's kind of giving you a little bit of a time break between your thoughts and your reactions. And the more conscious you are and the more aware you are of your thoughts, you can use that delay between reacting to them. So if you have something that happens, you're able to slow things down essentially and react differently. It's all about how you react to them. It's all about how you react to them. Crack my neck. Oh, yeah. Ooh, that was a good one. There we go. Smokey, Papa Swolio, would you recommend a 24-hour fast? Would I recommend it? Sure. You know, check with your doctor. Do that to save my ass. Check with if you have any reasons why you should not medically. You don't have to, but 24-hour fast is nothing. And when I say nothing, it's really, if you're doing a 16-8, you're not eating, you're skipping breakfast essentially. So a 24-hour fast is 1 day without eating. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. And for people that are trying to fast to get into more autophagy, you're not going to get into autophagy unless you're doing something more like a 24 plus hour fast. Doing intermittent fasting is not really going to tap into that kind of, that cellular regeneration that a lot of people say, oh, autophagy, I'm going to eat with them. Yeah, it's really longer term fasting that's going to dip into that more. So I'm not recommending people do longer term fasting. You can do that if you're cleared for it and if that's your preference, but I do that now and again. I'll do a 24 or 20. I think it turns out to be probably 24 or 36 now and again. What's up, Mike? I can't see your Amazon page because I'm in Canada. What do you mean you can't load it up? You mentioned flex bars for helping with tennis elbow. Was wondering what was the other smaller handheld you have. I don't know the name of it. It's on my Amazon store. So this thing, yeah, I don't know what this is. I don't know what to call that. It's a finger extensor, hand strengthener extensor. I don't know the name of it off the top of my head, but it is in my Amazon store. You can't see it? That's weird. I thought you'd be able to see it. Maybe you wouldn't be able to buy from it. I don't know the actual name of this exact one. I'd have to look at it. Canadians, why don't you just move to the United States? Maybe not now. Give it some time. Give it some time. I have to look it up to see what exactly the name of this is, but it's it works the forearm extensors, hand strengthener, but opening up, not squeezing, opening up. All right, let's take some more questions. If you got a question, hashtag Ask Papa Swolio. Remember, tomorrow's our accountability meeting, members only. Make sure you sign up today. Don't miss out on that. We got some new releases, and it's tomorrow, Monday, January 18th. Is tomorrow the 18th? Jesus Christ. January the 18th, 12 p.m. Eastern Time. 12 p.m., 12 noon Eastern Time, accountability meeting. Be there. I'll be square. All right. We got a question here from Logan's Lota or Logan Slota. Logan Slota, 96. It is what it is. Hey, Papa, I'm cutting right now and would like to know if I should lift heavy or light. Lift heavy. Never. Why would you lift light because you're cutting? You want to maintain your muscle mass. Just don't drop too many calories too soon. Keep your protein high and do so gradually. Yeah, people always think like you have to change completely how they lift. Oh, I'm losing weight. So what? So what? Lift. Lift heavy. Train as heavy as you can, as you normally would. You're adjusting your caloric intake or your macros if you're playing with cutting. Eat less shit. We get the same questions all the time. It's all right. It's fun. It's fun. It's good. It's good. It's good. You see how far we are. I feel like this should all be ubiquitous. We should teach this stuff in school. If we taught this fucking stuff in school, and this is not to knock anyone. If we taught actual fucking health and training in school, these questions wouldn't exist. Legit. These things should be taught in school, easily in middle school. Kids should be learning how to lift in middle school. They should be learning how to lift. There should be strength coaches at the school. It's very simple. And you fucking go over this. You go over this. Why can't it be something where it should be the most basic fucking thing to educate people on this type of stuff? We should make that a part of schools and education. I'm saying that out loud. I don't think anything's going to fucking happen. That's why parenting's so important. If you are a parent, you should be teaching your children how to take care of their health like this. I'm going to go off the rails. Don't get me started on education. It's so fucked. Everyday Debbie, Papa Swolio, is there an optimal number of exercise to do for each muscle group for muscle growth? Thanks, Papa. You rock. No, you rock. You rock. There isn't. There is not. It's about the overload. It's about the total training volume. I mean, classically, people start with 2 or 3 exercises and do 3 or 4 sets each. It all depends on your experience and your goals and X, Y, and Z. So there's no an optimal number of exercises, an optimal number of sets. That all depends on someone's experience. If you're a beginner, you're not going to need that much. If you're more advanced, you're going to need a lot more. Okay. So there is no optimal number. It depends on where you're at, what you're doing right now. And if you mean exercises or sets of an exercise, those are 2 different things. An exercise would be bench press or squat. The amount of sets would be, okay, you're doing 3 different exercises, 3 sets each, for example, would be 9 sets of total volume. How many sets, your overload, strength, whatever. There's a lot of different details there too. So it depends on your experience. If you're a beginner, you don't need as much volume. Otherwise, you're going to put yourself in a body bag. Papa Soy, is there a way to print off all the pages of a workout program at once? I'm not sure what you mean. Instead of open each week and all the separate pages. Well, the weeks of the program release every week. So you're not going to have them all up front. So as you progress through the program, you'll get each week of the program. If that's what you're referring to, or I'm not sure exactly what you mean. Like up front at first. I mean, you have to go through it week by week. I'm not sure if you mean like how you export it or print it, or you mean you open it up and just boom, can print out the whole program, because no, you have to go through each week. Let's see here. Hiram Papasolia, what is variable resistance training? I'd have to look at the definition of what they call it. I don't even know. I don't even know what the definition of that would exactly be anymore. Everyone's got their own, everyone says these terms. I'd have to see what the definition is. I heard the term from a book I was looking on Amazon called weightlifting is a waste of time. It sounds like reading that book is a waste of time.
Matt Damon.
Let me see if I can pull it up. Not the book. I don't care about the book. Oh, you mean band training? Is that what they're calling it? Oh, yeah, it's the same. I've heard the term used, but I just kind of ignore it. Variable resistance. Oh, yeah, just I call it, all right, so I call it dynamic resistance. Same thing. Yeah, whatever. Why is weightlifting a waste of time? So if you're thinking about like dynamic, in this case, variable, it doesn't matter. The same terms for everything. Just resistance bands, chains, things like that, where you'll have different weights throughout the range of motion. Let's see. Heather. A question about resistance bands. When using a band, say 50 pounds with both hands, is the resistance distributed between both sides? When using a band, say 50 pounds, or both sides giving a resistance of 50 pounds. Oh, you mean an actual band? I would say 25, depending on how far you're stretching it to. You mean if there's a band that's a 50-pound rated band? I would assume that it requires more than 50 pounds resistance to stretch it. It depends on how far you're stretching the band too. That's why there's different resistance bands, because if you take a lighter band and you stretch it too far, it might get tighter towards the end, but then you're past that optimal range of elasticity and you can damage the band. So it depends on how far you're going to stretch it. It should be, I mean, it should be distributed to both arms. And that's what she said. I don't know if that answered your question. We'll come back to it. Hunter Vango on Instagram, have a lower back issue from a car crash. Advice on lifts that target the lower back that may help. I'll say this 1,000 times. It's going to come down to you strengthening your glutes, core strength. So yoga for sure, glute activation exercises. The lower back is usually the area doesn't need the focus. That doesn't need your attention, because your lower back, chances are, if you're doing like just back extensions, you're going to create more imbalances. So strengthening the hips, and creating more balance around the hip joints and the muscles that cross the hips and the knees. So things like planks, vacuums are very beneficial. Stabilization exercises for the glutes. Talk a lot about lateral tube walking, single leg squats, single leg RDLs, but that might be challenging for you. It depends on what condition your back is. If you're cleared for exercise, you want to be careful sometimes with single leg exercise, because the instability, if you're waking up muscles and you're doing things that you're already in a compromised position, that might exacerbate an issue. So I'm not sure if you're doing physical therapy and whatnot, but best wishes, focus on exercise that do activate the glute muscles. Proper posterior pelvic tilt during your hip bridges, nice slow and controlled movements, single leg balance exercises, single leg squats can be beneficial. It's a very limited range of motion with the single leg squat. Lateral tube walking is also very effective for glute activation. Yeah, the weights, the resistance bands, for example, how many of you have, do any of you have the body elastics? I don't know if they ever came back in stock since the quarantines and stuff back in March, but I have the body elastic set. So the orange one, I think, is 30 pounds. I think it's 30 pounds, or it says 30. Like it's so much heavier than, it seems to be 30 on each side. But of course, the more you stretch it, and depends on the exercise and the angle. But I mean, it's a beast. I mean, a 50-pound band, I hope you're probably like just throwing that out there. A 50-pound band, I don't see you being able to stretch the shit out of it, stretch that at all. That would be like holding a PVC pipe, just trying to stretch a pipe. Because that orange one's a beast. It's a monster. Only certain exercises I can use that one for, or I would use that one for. You have the orange body elastics, right? The tube is like this big. It's enormous. It's a beast. It's a monster. But yeah, that's why we're talking about dynamic resistance or variable resistance. Was that the fact that when you're going through the range of motion, and remember, when you're using dumbbells, for example, the reason why resistance bands are such a nice tool is because as you stretch the band, and depending on where you have the band located, it's going to be progressive throughout the range of motion. So when you do a bicep curl, for example, you're stronger at certain parts of the range of motion. You're going to be stronger in the mid range. So as you stretch the band more, the band becomes more overload because you're stretching it because of the elastic nature of it. So as you go through a stronger range of motion, the band actually gets stronger. So you're matching it at certain parts of the movement. You're actually matching the progression of the resistance is matching your progression of strength through your mechanical advantage during the mechanics of the movement. Whereas with a dumbbell, if you lift it, the reason why people swing to lift the weights up is because if you swing for a curl, once you get through that strong range of motion, if you use momentum to get through that initial sticking point, you're just skipping the beginning portions of the curl. You're swinging to get to the stronger, let's say 90-degree range of motion for the elbow. That's going to provide you the most overload. So you're cheating. And then people lift their arms forward. You actually do some shoulder flexion. You're actually kind of doing a shoulder press or a front raise in order to get the weight up. So use your body weight, momentum swinging in order to move the resistance. Whereas with a band, you can't really cheat that. It's a lot harder to cheat that. Is eating hot dogs considered nose to tail or hoof to asshole? I would say that's whatever leaks onto the ground. Hot dogs. So the leftovers, the leftovers. Ash, Papa Swolio, any advice for working to prevent the butt wink posterior tilt during squatting? It's going to come down to your mobility in a big way. You can lift the heels a little bit. You might want to put I don't know if you train barefoot or not, but tight calves can lead to that as well. So you can elevate the heels a little bit, put a block under your heels, or you have lifting shoes, and also improve your mobility in your hips and your ankles, of course. That would help. It's also really good to front squats can help you prevent that too, because it'll keep you more upright during the movement. Just stop before you go too low. You don't want to have too much of a butt wink because you can put pressure in your lower back. I always found much more, personally, just more issues doing back squats and front squats. I generally prefer front squats because I feel they're more functional, they're more useful, and they engage more muscles in the back. Nothing wrong with back squats, but that's the reason why it's important to customize your training there, because a back squat, if you say, well, back squats are king, everyone should be doing back squats. Well, it's not ideal for everyone. There's nothing wrong with a front squat. There's nothing wrong with, so your body part or your body parts, your body positioning or your mechanics might be ideal for a front squat and less ideal for a back squat. You just might prefer it. For whatever reason, you might perform better or have better outcomes with squat A versus squat B. Samantha, I agree with your stance on the body positivity movement as an excuse not to get fit. I'm curious what your stance is on using bariatric surgery with diet and exercise to help achieve a healthy weight goal and lifestyle. I'm not a fan of weight loss surgeries, period, but that's between you and your doctor, medical professional. I just never liked the idea of that. I'm sure in some cases some cases it might be necessary. I know some people have success with it. A lot of people have had the opposite of success with it. If anyone's watching right now, you can drop a comment down below. So my stance is don't go in there cutting or stapling or lap banding your stomach. It's not changing your habits. It's very important to understand the outcome of not changing habits. Some people have those surgeries and don't change their habits and go right back and cause more damage to themselves because they're not changing what's actually going in, the habits that led to it in the first place. So just generally not a fan of those types of surgeries, but there is an application. That's why it exists. So I'm not saying that it wouldn't work for you. I'm not saying it wouldn't be ideal for you. It's not my place to tell you not to do it. I just don't like that approach. I don't like that invasive type of approach. Just my opinion. And again, I haven't had it myself. So whenever someone asks me, of course, I'm just going to usually say, don't get surgery. Usually it's a safe recommendation online. So, I wish the best for you. I just I'm not going to tell you to go and cut your shit up. So is that something you're looking at for yourself? I'm scrolling up. Curious as if that's what you're looking for yourself. Supergen, my brother-in-law has had lap band and the sleeve, and they both didn't work for him. How come they didn't work for him? Did he not change his habits, or they fall off, or something happen as an issue? Jesse, one of my friends had successful weight loss surgery, but he drastically changed his way of eating. My former boss had it twice, still fat as fuck because she's a pig. There you go. Let's see. Trevere, I'm guessing it depends on the type of goal the person has for weight loss with the surgery, aka if you have a good addiction, weight loss surgery isn't going to help. A food addiction, I'm assuming that was a typo. If you have a food addiction, weight loss surgery isn't going to help. You need counseling first. That's the thing. You don't want it to be a Band-Aid. Like if you don't change your habits, you're still eating the same shit. You're still associating with the same people, the same habits of consuming, of purchasing. The last thing you want to do is do that, and then you're still stuffing a lot of food and you don't want to have any tears or any other side effects or issues. I'm not an expert in gastric bypass. I just don't, for a fact, a lot of people say, oh, I just eat whatever I want. I'm just going to get the lap band thing. And people do it and think they're not going to fucking change. And just because their stomach is smaller, I just wouldn't want to limit my ability to digest and to consume nutrients personally. All right, let's see. Jesse, what's up? Papa Swolio, started my elimination diet on the 1st. Felt good the first week and kind of shitty last week. Better now. Is that upset stomach normal in the beginning? I'm down 20 pounds also. That's fucking fantastic, dude. Wow. Yeah, it's normal. Is upset stomach? Well, what'd you go from eating? What were you eating? And think about the drastic change. It sounds like if you lost 20 pounds in 2 weeks, you drastically changed your eating. If you're drastically changing your diet, no matter what it is, you're going to have, it might feel fucking weird. If you go from eating all sorts of food to just going complete keto, or you go from eating all sorts of food to going vegan, and you're going to have some changes. You might feel sometimes when people change, let's say they go, I know this is carnivore month, right? So a lot of people this year will say, I'm giving up. I'm going to do carnivore for 30 days. You might have a lot of energy up front, then you might feel weird in 2 weeks. So you're just drastically changing your body's fuel sources. And in the first couple of weeks, you're going to feel a lot of different changes. Some people feel amazing, period, end of story. Some people feel funky the first week, but then feel amazing the second week. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know exactly why people feel a certain way, because some people feel amazing right away. Some people feel crappy right away. So some people have it reversed. They feel kind of like, oh, the first week, and then they feel great the second week. Jesse, I was eating shit and drinking beer. All right. I mean, just think about how different your nutrition is. So you have that first initial like, whoa, I'm cutting down on carbs. I feel good. I'm not eating all the time, or I'm not drinking all the time and eating all that crap. But then the second week, your body is kind of comes out of that initial shock reaction. So it's very similar to lifting weights. Your body has that initial, whoa, what the fuck is going on? But then once you get the flow of it, all right, now we got this, right? The first week or two, you feel sore and stiff and, oh my God, how can I do this? And yoga and meditation so funky and the new habit. And then all of a sudden a month in, it's normal and you feel great. And then you start seeing the progress from doing it regularly. Let's take some more comments. Good questions. Good questions. Let's see. Sometimes your body, how'd you feel? Drop that in the comments. Those of you that do elimination, you did any strong diet changes? There we go. There we go. That was nice. I'll take it. Yeet. All right, we got a good question here. Ink Within Tattoo. What's the benefits of grass-fed beef over standard? Well, it's how the animals were raised. All right, you don't want cows that are standing in their own shit, that are eating grain and soy, because those types of omega-6s, linoleic acid, gets translated over into the product. You don't want to eat a sick animal. You want to eat a healthy animal. Just like a healthy human looks a certain way, a healthy cow is going to have a different life. One that's eating the food it's supposed to eat. You see a human being that's eating junk food and a cow that's eating junk food relative to what they should be eating. And they do that to fatten them quickly, and they do that because it's convenient and it's subsidized by the government, the corn and soy. Plus, there's a lot of other benefits in terms of, for me, the taste, hands down. Fucking hands down, the taste is better. I used to get nasty heartburn with grain-fed beef and low-quality chicken. I know from personal experience. I had to the point, this is like what, 10, 12 years ago, to the point where I was taking Prilosec. I was taking over-the-counter antacids, those kinds of proton pump inhibitors or whatever the fuck it is, for my heartburn. I couldn't even do a crunch laying on my back and I would start getting heartburn. So a lot of people have issues with soy and grains and those types of things. So it's definitely a game changer eating grass-fed beef. Not to mention there's a lot of info on better omega-3 profiles, again, because grass-fed beef are fed what the cows should be eating. They're not pounded or fed corn, soy, grains and such. So healthier animals. I don't like to say happier animals, happier cows. It's like, how do you know how do you fucking know if it's happy? You assume it is, which makes sense. But absolute game changer. Absolute game changer. Just again, from forgetting all the details, because you'll see people that say, well, the nutrition and the protein and this is the same. Maybe. But there's a reason why I don't have heartburn ever when I used to get it all the time. It's because of what the animals eat and what gets stored and what gets caught up in the fat and the tissue of those unhealthy animals. Food quality. Jen, I found I get heartburn with standard USDA beef. Matthew, on the subject of gut health, what's your thoughts and opinions on probiotics? I think the research is still out when it comes to gut health or the microbiome. There are a lot of good podcasts recently on that really talk about how scientists are still like, we don't know what the optimal healthy gut biome is. We're still learning. I think the consensus currently is that there are a lot of different possibilities for a healthy gut, which is where it comes back down again to elimination diet and focusing on the foods that work best for your body. And like I've said many times, I think that people should be eating animal products. I do not think we should be going plant-based and eating all these different vegetable oils and vegetable base. It just doesn't seem to make sense when you can get the nutrient dense, you get some beef, or let's just say it's beef liver, for example, or organ meats. You have such dense nutrition that's readily absorbable. It's just fucking right there for you, packed. Otherwise, you can eat 3 bowls of broccoli. It just doesn't make sense for efficiency wise but that's just, I'm using different forms of logic. But when it comes to, but at the same time, you'll meet people that do plant-based or vegan and they feel great and it's their life. We're not going to really find out exactly what all the benefits or the drawbacks are because there's so many millions of variables. I'm saying millions. There's so many different variables to actually test this in humans. It's just not really viable. So we understand that there's different ways and different predispositions genetically for success with certain nutrition, but more often than not, it just makes absolute sense to eat more of a hunter-gatherer type approach because that's how we've evolved. And the drastic change of our nutrition in the last 100, 200 years is just, it's causing our demise. And we're seeing that as our society becomes more and more sedentary and we suck down more and more of these artificial foods and artificial oils and artificial fats and such like that. So probiotics, I don't personally take them. I have before. I don't really. You mean foods? Like, do you mean like yogurt? Do you mean a supplement that says, oh, take these probiotics? I haven't, but I would recommend looking into that and taking that especially if you do a round of antibiotics, which are avoid at all costs because that just destroys all the good and the bad bacteria. So you definitely want to actively build that back up if you're forced to take antibiotics for whatever reason. Eric, I bought a 21-inch long beef ribeye. How thick do you like your steaks? I don't know. I don't know. Thick. I like them. Yeah, I don't like thin steak. I never really measured it. It's kind of like get what I get. I would say like an inch or two. Not an inch. Wait. Yeah, like an inch and a half, 2 inches maybe. I don't know. I never really measured it. I just eyeball it when it's thicker. I just cook it. I take it off. I'll take it off. I'll put it on. I might just cook it a little differently based on how thick it is. What's a swole card today? 7 pillars, bitches. 7 pillars. You meant more supplements for the probiotics. Yeah, I've taken them before. I just don't take them now. My thoughts on them. I think you just have to make sure you're getting a quality product. I don't think it's necessarily bad for you. You want a good balance between, you want a good balance of bacteria. And depending on your nutrition is what will grow and inhabit your gut. Let's see what we got here. Do I make my own broth? Yes, I do. I'm going to add some links. Inside X. Some different links to some different places for getting grass-fed products. Some of you are asking, or more in the products. I had different links, but I'm going to add some more stuff, probably to the header when you log in, right where it's recommended products. I'll put a link. I'll put an affiliate link or something there for some different options. It depends on where you live. I don't know if you live international. I don't think it's going to, but for people that are in, I don't know about maybe Canada too, US and Canada, at least some different ideas and options. We can have more of that discussion too. Yeah. You could also post up in the group or in the Discord too. And everyone can source where they get their stuff from. But do you make your own bone broth? The bone broth I had been buying in my local store isn't carried or being made anymore. I feel like if I make my own, it won't be good quality. Psh. I only like making stuff myself. I've had pre-made broth before and it's like, tasted too watery. I get like this thick collagen layer in there. Put some ligaments, put some tendons, put some knuckle bones. Depends on what type of broth you have. I have a new pot coming up right now. Probably be done tonight. It's been up there for like 48 hours. So I think tonight's going to be 48 hours. The 8th pillar is coffee. Nice. Let's take another question. Keep the conversation going. If you have follow-ups on some of these questions, we're just going to keep it rolling. If you got another question, you could drop in the comments. We'll take a couple more minutes here. Niharv01, Niharv, are high intensity, low impact workouts going to help me lose baby weight? Are high intensity, low impact workouts going to help me lose baby weight? Maybe. This is the honesty in the podcast, the honesty of the Daily Swole. Maybe. Depends on your nutrition and all these other aspects that I don't know about. So your baby weight depends on all the other factors too. High intensity training is great. I train intensely. Low impact. I don't do a ton of impact. I mean, losing extra body fat is going to be a caloric deficit, not eating inflammatory foods, making sure you're eating properly. 7 pillars, all the same aspects, sleeping properly, getting quality rest, which is going to be the hardest thing, probably having a new child. So they absolutely can. They absolutely can. Are they going to? Maybe. I'm just going to be honest. Maybe. It depends on if you do them right. And if you do everything else properly as well. Hey, it's the truth. It's the truth. All right, let's take another question. Imperfect, unfit gym rat. Well, there's a self-depreciating screen name there. Papa Swolio got off track of my diet after my shoulder injury healed right now. Have been trying to restart. No success. Need wise words. How about stop being a fucking beesh and getting it done? How about that shit? There's some wise words to jam up your ace. Got off track my diet after my shoulder injury. Why? You hurt your shoulder, you didn't hurt your mouth. You could still lift food to your mouth with your other arm. There's no reason to fall off your diet because you hurt your shoulder. That's a fucking excuse. Whether or not you want to admit it, it's bullshit. No reason to fall off your diet because you got an injury. That's even the opposite. It's more of a reason to stay specifically on your diet. It's more reason to crush it 100%. So no success, been trying to restart. Start. Get it done. Fucking make it happen. You got it. You got this. Just fucking start. Stop being a boosh. Pacific Northwest Princess, PNW Princess. Do you ever overeat or eat off track? What's your favorite treat? Fruit, frozen fruit, honey. I don't know. Do I ever overeat? Probably. I just exercise too. I mean, do I ever overeat? I eat steak. I don't count my calories. I just eat until I'm satisfied. But I eat the foods that I love to eat. I eat my fuel. I just don't track what I eat. I just stuff as much as I want in. But I'm eating grass-fed steak. I'm eating pastured eggs. I'm eating honey and broth. I just fucking eat. No joke. No joke. I mean, when you're a dude and you train and like you just want to eat, yeah, everyone's kind of a binge eater. I just don't eat all day long. I've done that before. I think already I know how much my body needs and how much my body can consume and how much it takes for me to consume to maintain and to be the size that I'm at. People ask me my goals and I'm not trying to get bigger. I'm just kind of fucking doing other stuff. I'm training. I'm being consistent. I'm having fun being consistent. I'm doing total body stuff, leaning out, dropping a little extra weight or I'm just training a little bit differently now than I have been before. It doesn't take me much to consume. I mean, I'm eating a lot of protein and fat, like a ribeye steak or something like that. It's like 1,200 calories for a ribeye, cooked in beef tallow, some eggs, some bone broth. I mean, I'm getting in 2,000 calories easily, 2,500. I just don't have to. I'm not trying to force extra food in. And when you're eating real food, when you're eating actual real fucking food, when you start getting full, you're actually full. You don't have to count calories. Oh, I hope I ate enough. Oh my God, I'm eating too much. No, I'm literally getting in what my body needs. I'm starting to feel full when I'm getting in my nutrients because that's the types of food that I'm consuming. I don't track it. And I'm very grateful to not have to track it. And I'd rather actually be more slender or not be than to have to try to bulk and count and make sure I'm stuffing extra food in. I've done that. I told you that. I've done that for a long time. It's a miserable way to live, to stuff in extra food. It's necessary and you have to do it if you're trying to bulk. You have to eat more than you want to. You're going to eat when you're full. It's just a lot of effort. It's hard and it's not something that I want to do anymore. It's not healthy to me. It's not really good long-term, I don't think, to maintain that, to be stuffing in extra food. It's natural for humans to not have food and to maybe splurge or indulge now and again after a kill and you satisfy your energy needs, but to constantly be overfueling, we see that in the country. Of course, if you're eating healthy foods, it's really hard, but you're not going to get fat per se if you're training hard and you're eating quality foods in excess, in slight excess. But we know what happens when you consume too many calories on a regular basis. We see that everywhere. Krista, after COVID restrictions lift everywhere, will there be a SwoleCon? Yeah, maybe. No plans. I mean, I don't think COVID restrictions are going to lift anytime soon, especially this year. So we'll play all that by ear. We'll play all that stuff by ear. Yeah, I wouldn't. Don't hold your breath for COVID restrictions to go away. Not this year. People have asked me, how long do you think? Oh, I think they're gonna pull this through at least another year or two. People don't realize what they voted for. They will. They will. Keep that boot down as long as they can. Let's see here. I mean, it really depends on the states. So some states are wide open. I know Florida's open, Texas. Florida's the best so far, I think. I think Florida's the best state. We could do a virtual SwoleCon. We do all the time. We do every day. We're doing it right now. We're doing it right now. So, yeah, I think, Florida, they said, DeSantis said he's never going to, not locking down anymore or not locking down ever again. But I think Texas is locking down. I thought Texas was wide open, but I've heard that some people say that they're locking down. I'm not sure why or what's going on. We got to keep it. You got to play it smart too, because people are so, well, it's the media's fault for people not trusting the media because they're lying pieces of shit and they lie all the time. But whether or not these other strains, for example, the other strains of coronavirus, whether it's, obviously you're going to get your fair share of fear mongering. That's the whole goal, is to cause and incite fear. That way you're able to, fear sells, right? If it bleeds, it leads. But at the same time, viruses do mutate. That's just how that's natural selection. It's survival of the fittest. That's just how it works. So it would make sense that it would adapt. We just hope it doesn't adapt to become what we thought it was to begin with, because viruses will adapt. It'll adapt to traveling more in sunlight or outside. I just still think it's ridiculous when I see people outside walking and exercising in broad daylight and they're wearing a mask. It's like, bro, it's not raining from the sky. Breathe some fresh air, exercise, be healthy. There's no need to go hiking with a mask on. I mean, that's just ridiculous. But be safe, be smart. I mean, I've been seeing a lot of stories about people taking vaccines and stuff and having side effects and issues, and it's personal, your personal choice, but then they have the vaccine, but then, oh my God, we're having trouble distributing it. So there's going to be, we have to hide because now we can't distribute it enough. Oh no, what are we going to do? I'm just not a fan of the fear mongering and all the circle jerking, because then people don't know what to believe and what not to believe. And then we're not going to be able to move forward when no one believes anything. And that's the problem that the media has created for itself and for everyone else, is that now that no one fucking believes anything, how are you going to get everyone on the same page, right? Even if you are telling the truth, you're going to have a large percentage that will be like, well, I don't believe that, as understandably so. Krista, I'm in Washington State and it's just stupid here. Indoor dining closed, so they put up giant tents. Yeah. Yeah, that stuff doesn't make, that's the stupid stuff. Well, I just don't understand that. I just don't understand not giving people the choice, especially if you have a business. I mean, people don't have to go into your business, right? If you have a business and it's open and people are afraid and they don't want to go outside, then they don't come into your business. But at least you have the opportunity to sell shit. You have the ability to potentially stay open. You're going to give out stimulus checks and people can't go anywhere to make purchases except Walmart and Amazon. Yeah. So the small businesses go under, not to mention I don't want to get too far into it. Anyway, questions you could drop in the comments. I'm just going to, I talk about that on the Red, White, and Swole. We just have to make sure we have to make sure people are safe and people are secure and X, Y, and Z. But when you start limiting people's ability to do what they need to do to survive, it's fucked up. It's pretty evil. That's all I'm saying. Be safe, be smart. But why can't you be safe and be smart and still make a living? Right? Why? I just don't, does that not make sense to anyone? Right? If you have a business and you say, hey, you need a mask to enter, then they put on a mask and enter. And then I don't think anyone's going to care. Okay, I'll put on a mask and do business and then leave. Cool. It's not that hard. You don't want to wear a mask, then don't go in. I don't know, it just seems like a business owner should have the choice to do their business or not. Oh. Let's see. More questions, more conversation. Let's see what we got here. Simicripina. Papa Swolio, how long does it take to reach peak performance? For real though, how long does it take to start looking swole? Again, something that can't really be answered. That depends. Depends on where you're starting at. Depends on what you think looking swole is. Some people never feel like they look swole. They have body dysmorphia and they just never think they're big enough. Some people just look bigger because they have wider shoulders and they look yoked because everyone's got different genetics. Some people just are able to develop certain muscles that give you that look of being swoller. I mean, depends. I mean, look, if you're getting into fitness and you're trying to peak performance is so different. So peak performance is so different than looking swole. Like they have nothing to do with each other. So what does that mean? Peak performance. So I'm going to take the last part. How long does it take to start looking swole? It depends. Maybe it takes you a year to your perception of swole, but I would not expect to take any less than 3 to 5 years of hard training, consistent work to build muscle and mature muscle and to really learn the basics, go through those pitfalls, at least 3 to 5 years, at least. And it doesn't mean that you can't start building muscle and you start looking, yeah, you can see results sooner than that. But what does that mean? Right. So, you know, if you're getting into fitness and lifting, it's a lifestyle change. It's years of work. I mean, am I the biggest that I've ever been in my life? No, but I'm maintaining a real nice lean physique. I like the way I'm training. I've been training for 20 years and I've gone through different phases of how I'm training. I'm doing a lot more power and kettlebell stuff now, total body stuff. I'm mixing it up. You know, I haven't been in the gym. I haven't been in the gym for a long time. I've been training at home, fucking around with different stuff. And we're doing Swole Mastery and we're doing other kinds of workouts and shit. So this has been a real nice deloading and change of stress for me because I've been doing like heavier style, like bodybuilding type training for years and years and years and years. And it's nice to have some different stresses and some different exposure, different types of overload. So yeah, we have a lot of bad examples online. I'm seeing a lot of good comments. Let's see. Strength in all forms depends on the reference point too. 100%. Roid freaks on Instagram and YouTube are poor examples of what is attainable naturally with time. It absolutely, it's so right. When you're used to seeing the same shit, you're used to seeing people that are fucking juiced out of their mind all the time online, you think that's what being swole is. I mean, there's so many people on TikTok and different places like, oh, this dude thinks he's swole. When you're used to seeing people that are taking fucking 1,000 milligrams of test every week, yeah, a lot of people are juiced out of their fucking minds. Even these 17, 18, 19-year-olds, they're taking shit. You can see the fucking gyno in their pictures. You can tell. You can see their what the androgen receptors, their shoulders look like fucking turtle shells. It's not natural. You can tell. Once you're experienced, you can tell what artificial shit looks like. And of course, people are taking all this sorts of stuff like SARMs and X, Y, and Z. And I'm no expert in all that shit. All the chemical making yourself a research lab animal. So I'm not against testosterone replacement or hormone replacement, but when you're doing HRT when you're 19, yeah, sure. You're just getting legal juice. So there's nothing wrong. I don't see anything wrong with someone maybe my age or older going to a clinic and getting some replacement therapy, but you know, it depends. Most people just aren't honest about that. So when they're using something, they make it seem like, oh, I'm taking this protein powder, or because I take this collagen protein, that's why I look so big. Take this fat burner, or take my pre-workout. And they look and they're taking juice and they're promoting fucking creatine. Yeah, that's not what you're taking to get that big. And you're not being honest with your audience. So a lot of kids are taking shit online. It's a real bad example to look online to see what it takes. Steven, have you tried any of the virtual reality workouts? What do you mean, like video games? No. I've seen them. It looks like people sweat. I mean, you sweat when you're playing the shooting games, but no, I haven't tried any of them. Mike O'Hearn duck eggs. We got another question. All right, last chance. Ask a question. A reminder, we got accountability meeting tomorrow. Let's get some guys. All right, tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern time. Private for the fam only. Accountability meeting, 12 noon Eastern time. Make sure you check that out, and I will be sending you information on where you can catch that. For Swole fam members, of course, it'll be streamed live in the private Facebook group, but also you'll be able to access it in other places. We'll be uploading to Swole TV and such. But if you want to catch the live stream, make sure you're plugged in. I will be announcing some awesome stuff probably before then, but I will be letting you know tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern time, private meeting only for the Swole fam. Learn more, swolenormousx.com. Good questions today. Good conversation. Beaches. Good shit. We got to give away that Swole card. Swole card is 7 pillars. So for those people who are like, why is everyone commenting 7 pillars? It's because we got the Swole card, 7 pillars. You sexy beaches. Shall we give this away? Shall we give this away? I think we shall. Let's give this Swole card away. Let's do it now. Let's do it. Let's do it now. What we got? Let's do it now. Fuck it. We're ready. Thick pork chops. Landed on a pork chop here. No. Landing on comments. No, landed on Ask Papa Swolio. I get my cardio from kettlebells. No. 0 for 1. One more time. Scrolling. And stop. 0 for 2. 0 for 2. We got one more. We'll get it. I'm looking. Scroll. Stop. That's an Ask Papa Swolio. Stop. Congratulations. We got a winner, fam. Isabel Covio, congratulations. You are the winner today. 4th time's a charm. Apparently not 3. We had a lot of people dropping 7 pillars, but I landed on a lot of APS though, but they don't count. Congratulations, Isabel. Congratulations. Get some more applause.
Fucking Catalina wine.
It's the fucking Catalina wine mixer. It's the fucking Catalina wine mixer.
Congratulations. Send us an email to support@swolenormous.com. Swole card 1717 in the subject and your mailing address in the body of the email. And we'll send you this Swole card. Congratulations. Oh, let's get this. And a reminder. Tomorrow is our accountability meeting. So we got some new releases we'll talk about. Let me get here. We got new releases. We got some awesome Swole fan posts. We got some awesome stuff to talk about. We got a lot of stuff coming up. We got a lot of private streams coming up. We got a lot of exclusive shit that we're doing, a lot of new developments, a lot of new pivots. So stay tuned. Of course, I have your numbers with Swole Text, those of you that are on the Swole Text. And of course, we got the Discord and the private group and stuff. So I will be letting you know for all the new updates. And I'll be probably sending you some more updates later today for more information because, we've been talking a lot about the different places that we're creating content and all the private streams and the members only exclusive content that we're doing. And that's going to be kicking off more and more. So we're going to be doing a lot more members only content. And we're going more and more internal because this is going to be a big year. 2021 is going to be a big year, and we need to make sure that we are locked in, ready to go, and focused. And what better time to start than the beginning of a brand new year? But 2020 Part 2 is off to an interesting start. And hopefully we're gonna have a great year. I think we will because we're off to an amazing start so far. So tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern time, we'll talk more and I'll be updating you any of those new updates and those little things that I've been kind of alluding to later today, I'll message you or post it up in the Discord, or I'll text you all. Check out the brand new shows. We got a brand new Swolenormous Procast. We have a brand new Red, White, and Swole, and a brand new Swolenormous audio experience. So give that a look-see as well. Going to be doing another recording, probably a new Procast that will be coming. So new content, new stuff, and we have to nut this beesh, but stay tuned, stay plugged in. We got a lot of stuff coming. All right, let's nut this beesh. (2020) Part 2. 2020. Nope. Get away. Get away from her. Goddamn fucking falcon. Out of control. Jesus Christ. All right, fam. Thank you so much for joining me for episode 1717 of the Most Muscular Swolecast, Beardcast, Broadcast, Gamecast, Mancast, Pimpcast, Sleazecast, and Slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. Get some more gorillas. All right. Very nice, fam. Thank you for joining me. We'll see you tomorrow for episode 1718 accountability meeting tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern time. Don't miss out on that. Subscribe to Daily Swole on your favorite app, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all that shit. And I'll see you tomorrow for the accountability meeting. I'm stoked. I'll be in touch. I got some more updates and I'll let you know what's going down ASAP. So happy Sunday, beaches. Go get your pump on. Peace, McGeese. Deuce, Magoose. Your boy, Papa Swolio. Out.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict.
Yes, I know. I know.
3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the.
You can't always have what you want, Falcon. Be nice. Be nice.
Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers. Oh, you get my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now they king left and they so mad, it's like.
Then yeah, I found that young king with my crown at 10 racks in the fanny pack, couple hundred in the Louis bag.
That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you laid. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard in the paint, yeah. What the fuck is you saying? I only go where they pay. What kind of game is you playing? Yeah, whoa, my shit is relevant. On topic, my melanin is popping. I'm taking skeletons on closets and making new deposits. I'm in my element, no ollies, you choose.